Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We're going to the top, to the top, to the top, baby. We're going to bring others with us. So let's get it popping, let's get it cracking, and let's talk about the Shy Season 2, Episode 7. It's going down. It's like crazy, like just seeing Brian on the show and basically the allegation that he's facing and he has been blackballed. And it's kind of like weird watching it too and trying to figure out the chemistry between Brandon and Jerrika. It's just like, damn, like what's really going on? This is just crazy. But let's get into it. Let's get it popping. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I hope you got it in, baby, because I did. So let's get it popping. So let's just start off right here. So we get Detective Cruz. Basically, before he was a detective, he was a police officer, and he had a partner that was Puerto Rican and basically killed an African-American young male, shot him down in the street, basically thought that he had a gun, but he didn't have a gun. He wasn't reaching for a gun. He was reaching for his seatbelt. He killed him, and then he ended up lying and saying that it's brown over black, brown over blue, brown and blue stand together. Basically, he concocted a story and lied, and Detective Cruz followed his lead because Detective Cruz was being pressured by the other police officers. I was like, damn, that young man lost his life, and there's been a lie told on him, and his family will never know the truth, but they know the truth deep down inside. And then when Detective Cruz ever said that to his ex-partner, that, oh, what you brown on the outside and white on the inside, I was like, claim you're black when you need to, baby. So I was just like, damn. So Detective Cruz done been through some shit, but he's also trying to look out for Brandon. I'm just like, damn, baby. And so then moving on from that, then we have Detective Cruz. He's at another scene. There's a young lady, Caucasian lady, that was going around asking people if they wanted to sell their house, if they wanted to move, and blase and a third. And basically, she's been found killed. So I guess Otis done, severed ties with her. And then the person that, beat up Elto, I don't know what happened to them. But basically, Otis, a.k.a. Mr. Perry, a.k.a. the street lord, drug boss, basically, he hiding in plain sight, and he has been bred, and he has been, matured and nurtured to be the person that he is. And that's what Detective Toussaint's on. But we find out Detective Toussaint got some shit going on with her. Her shit ain't clean at all. Like, for real? Yes, sir. And so we have Detective Cruz. He's at the scene, and he's basically connecting this young lady to Ethel's beating and a lot of the break-ins and home invasions that's been happening in Ethel's neighborhood. So it's on and popping, baby. So I was just like, damn, this shit is getting even more crazier. And so then Brandon ended up getting a new stove for his truck. He shows Jerrika, and he was all touching that. I was like, oh, this is just so crazy. So anyways, he was touching her and basically let her know that he got a stove for the truck. And basically, it came from Otis, and she ain't too thrilled about the situation. She ain't too happy about the shit. You know why? Because, she's going through some things, and basically we know that she's having problems at her job because she doesn't want to turn down people that are good people, but they just don't have the money, or basically they don't meet the criteria to rent an apartment or a space. So they have these criterias that are so high that basically you got to be a millionaire just to rent an apartment in an average neighborhood. That's the way they keep people of color, African Americans, out of their neighborhood. Basically just raise the standards high as you possibly can so they won't qualify. So anyways, Brandon get his new truck, and it is what it is, baby. He got his truck, and he has the new stove. But Jerrika's like, okay, she's not too happy about it. He don't understand why she's not too happy about it. But after he gets through talking to, Emmett lets him know that she probably wants the ring. She probably saw, all the nice stuff. The truck is beautiful, it's expensive, but she wanted a ring, baby. And so Brandon's like, why should I listen to you to do with 18 baby mamas? He goes, I know what I'm talking about. She wants a ring. When you going, to ask her to marry you? She wants to get engaged, baby. What are you doing? And Brandon, he's to this advice of Emmett, and he's looking for her birthstone to get a ring for Jerrika. But this shit is not going to go well. It's like Brandon on this show got it terrible. In real life, he going down. It's just like, damn. So remember, when you take these roles that are very destitute and you're going through struggle, strife, trials and tribulations, just hope that they don't take over in your real life, that you be taking. Brandon been taking so many L's on this show. Now he's taking L's in real life, where his manager, his talent agency, they all dropped him. He's been dropped from shows. He's been dropped from Netflix. He's been dropped from Fox. Like, come on. So Brandon is going to get her that ring. I was like, okay, Brandon's gonna get her that ring. He's happy about that stove. He loves that stove. That stove is beautiful, baby. I was just like, oh no. Then we got Detective Toussaint. Basically, she's getting shitted on by the boss. The boss is like, I don't like what you did. You punched that boy in his face. And she was like, you know what? I look in the mirror. I know what I can see. Sometimes I don't see something. Sometimes I do see something. Whatever I see, what you ain't doing is right. So you need to follow the rules and get with the program. You can't be out here abusing these young men because they got families. They got people that love them too. And they individuals. And you getting paid to do a job, mother sucker. And so Detective Toussaint was like, what about the 63 shootings in Chicago? Then the 66 shootings in Chicago. Remember that? That shit was a crazy weekend. I remember that. And then on top of that, what about right after that weekend, another 53 shootings going down. And then on top of that, a 3-year-old was shot and killed. So basically, she's just like, yo. So Detective Toussaint was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do when I want to do it. Basically, in so many words, basically trying to tell the detective that, hey, the police ain't doing their job because look at all these people getting killed. And it's just like, it's one of them situations where there were so many rumors about the shooters that went on with the 66. Some of them thought that they were, part of the police. Some of them thought that they were tactic teams. Like, there was like all these shooters, they don't know who is connected. They haven't found anybody. It was just like so many different, allegations put on the 66 shootings that went down in Chicago. And then after that, the 53 shootings. And then the 3-year-old getting shot in the head, while they're watching TV. Like, that's some crazy shit. Like, it's going down. So anyway, she gets that heads up from the boss, but Detective Toussaint ain't hearing it. She's been on death duty before because she done shot and killed somebody before, and the reason why she killed this big time drug dealer because he had something to do with her son. And so I don't know if her son was out here slanging drugs or he was being threatened to join the gang, but now he's in jail asking for help. So we get Ronnie and we get Jerrika, and basically Jada. Ronnie's out here, he got that car across the street, he's been working on it, trying to fix it, and it seemed like Jada is kind of impressed with Ronnie. And I told you Jada and Ronnie was going to hook up. It was just going to happen, and is about to go down, baby. She invites him. He asks her out to dinner because Jada is going to be looking for a new job, or she got a new job offer at a group home, so she might be moving on. And so he asks if he can take her out to dinner, baby. And she goes, no, you know what? Since you good with your hands, could you come over my house and fix my bookshelf? Basically to fix that dust between her legs, because she ain't been getting it since Emmett's father. But then there's a bigger question. The bigger question is what's going on with Grandma Ma? What's going on with Ethel? Like, you know what I'm saying? Her and Ronnie are not getting along. There's something on her mind. And Ronnie, basically, he's living, back in his childhood days, thinking about, living across from his father all them years, never talking to him, never saying hello. And why did Grandma keep him away? Why didn't they move away? So there's a lot of questions about that situation that Ethel needs to answer. And, Jada's thinking about, generational curses and things like that. Like, she's just like, yo, Ronnie was like, there's no answer that she can give that would make it okay. Basically, so Ronnie don't even want to talk to her, and he was like, she's always been mean, she always been fussing, she always been particular, so there ain't nothing new. Cause Jada think it has something to do with her being assaulted. Shit, hell yeah. So then moving on with that, we got Detective Toussaint and Detective Cruz basically having a conversation and trying to put two to two together. The young Caucasian lady that was murdered, basically she had flyers in her car that have to do something with the condominiums and people trying to get people to rent. And it was like, a real estate agency basically is actually legit. It's in North Carolina or something like that. And basically they're trying to tie it to the rash of break-ins in Ethel's neighborhood and basically trying to tie her into what happened to Ethel. So we're gonna see what happens with this situation. I was like, damn it, they're teaming up and they're working partner to partner together. So we'll see what happens with that situation. But we know it's not gonna go down because Detective Cruz is put on death duty, baby. So that's the flyers. And so then, Detective Cruz, he's thinking about his ex-partner back in the day wanted, Detective Cruz to lie and basically pressure him to lying and saying that he was afraid, he was scared, and that's why he shot him because his life mattered first and he rather to be judged by a jury of 12 than to be carried by 6 pallbearers. I was like, this mother sucker took another man's life for no reason because he was nervous, because he was scared. You can't have people policing the community that is scared and afraid and just scared because of the way we look, the way we talk, the way we walk. You know, you just can't be killing innocent people like that. You never get the right people, always get the innocent people. That's just how it goes. They always, you know, because the big people might be paying them, or the real people might be paying them, so to kill the innocent. So moving on from that, we get Jerrika. She's talking to her best friend about, you know, last time you came over, you was dissing, you know, my man and calling him a thug and things like that. She was like, I was just a little drunk, baby. I was just drinking a little bit. And so Jerrika, she's going through something right now because she has to turn down all these tenants with that basically they can pay the rent, they need subsidized or something like that, but they have 3 to 4 jobs and everything, but they just don't fit the application criteria, because basically the criteria is to make sure you don't let anybody in that is colored and basically that don't fit their income. So there's a criteria, so people can easily say, we're not going to rent to you, we're not going to sell to you, and they can use the criteria that they have that you don't fit the criteria, so it won't be called racial profiling. But you know, Jerrika, she's not too happy with working with Mrs. Brown, and she's just like, damn, all the, you know, low income housing that Mrs. Brown could offer to, you know, to people in the community that's looking for a better life, that's trying to get out the hood, that's trying to make a better way, but then there's a block in the way where you can't get out the neighborhood because you have to meet this major 100% criteria because of color of your skin. So boom, you already out, you already counted out. That's the way the system goes. And then we got none other than Emmett meeting up with Kevin, basically because he wants to buy, you know, Keisha some new shoes. He's missing her. He wants to know what's up. And then Kevin was like, yo, the other night, yo, that bad BMW black on black with the rims and the spinners was on point. Your car was nice. And he was like, oh, for real? And so to come to find out, Emmett is just like, yo, that wasn't me. And then basically Kevin was like, yo, I don't know why she lied then. She's been acting real strange and real funny. So now Emmett's going to do some investigation. Emmett was like, I ride the 8, I ride the L, I ride the train, baby, I ride the bus. What are you talking? I ain't got no BMW. And so the Kevin was like, so Emmett was like, I'm going to go talk to her. And Kevin was like, no, leave her alone, man. You already know how she is. So I was just like, damn. So it is what it is. I'm just like, damn. So he's feeling a certain type of way. You know, Emmett wants his sweet old thing back, Keisha, but when he had her, he was mistreating her. He wasn't doing right by her. And so now we get Detective Cruz. He finds out that he's off the case. He cannot help Detective Toussaint investigate Ethel, investigate the gangs, investigate, you know, any of the crew, because he's been on death duty because he failed as a detective, basically getting a confession thrown out of court because Ronnie, basically when he made the confession, he was all under the influence. And then on top of that, Detective Cruz showed him who the suspect killer was, and then Ronnie went out and killed the boy. I said, I don't know how Jada can date Ronnie after he done killed this teenage boy, but I guess everybody deserves a second chance. And Ronnie ain't a bad guy, but he's been through some things and did some shit that, damn, do you want to lay next to him? But he ain't a bad dude. But you see, that's why you really got to get to know somebody inside and out. I don't even know. He done killed the boy, a little boy, because he was drinking, but at least he ain't drinking no more. Ronnie's clean, so Detective Cruz is on the freaking desk. This is just what it is. It's gonna be. He's gonna be riding desk duty. So then we have Jerrika, we have, you know, Brandon, and we have Jerrika's parents, and basically they offered Jerrika to run their business because she's doing such a good job with Mrs. Brown. So they was like, hey, and so they was like, you know, also Jerrika can help you out, Brandon, with your business, because you're gonna need some accounting work, you're gonna need some work, and you with a star, baby. Then on top of that, you won 3rd place in that contest. That's really good. And so they was pretty kind of like happy with Brandon, and they really didn't put Brandon down. So basically Jerrika's like, yo, could we have some of the housing, some of the buildings, some of the property that you guys gonna put in my hand when you retire? Could we make some affordable to low income? And it was like, yeah, but you know, we already reached the maximum, so how can we do that? And so she was like, well, then Jerrika came with the plan. Well, maybe when some move out, the next available apartments that come up empty, we can put make them affordable, because she's thinking about because there's people that really be trying to get out the hood, really don't want to be in the hood, really don't act hood. They just live in an impoverished neighborhood and they're good people. But, right now they don't have the means. And when they do get the means, they get backtracked, or there be a stumbling block in the middle of the road where they can't rent or go to another community because they don't want them there. And they good people. You know what I'm saying? They ain't loud. They ain't all the stereotype that people think that they are. They just good people that live in poverty. And everybody that lives in poverty ain't bad, baby. So we have that situation. And then moving on from that, then we have Ronnie and none other than Jada. They meet up and he put some lips on her. He kisses her and they have a little bit of a conversation. We find out they gonna end up dating, baby. And he kissed her, but he leaves immediately, and she's feeling him. Jada wanted to say, "Hey, baby, come in this room and give Mama what I've been looking for. I know you got that energy. You've been working out. You haven't been drinking. Oh, and plus I haven't had it in so long." She wanted something. She gonna get some, baby. Ronnie gonna tear it up. And so then Brandon, he goes to the bank and he finds out he got $50,000 in the bank, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, it came from Perry. It came from Otis." And so he's ready to call Perry and tell him, "I think you made a mistake." And then here goes Emmett like, "No, that's no mistake, boy. That ain't no mistake. Don't block your blessings. It ain't a blessing, boy. It's just like they're setting up Brandon to be the fall guy for Detective Toussaint. They're putting the scent on him. And I told you guys they're going to do that to him. That's the only reason why they wanted to be bothered with his food truck. He's a stool pigeon what they're going to use for him to be that big fish, be that bait that Detective Toussaint needs, because she's desperate and she got something for drug dealers. She got something with people in the gang. But if anybody, she should be finding out who is Reggie's boss. She don't even know who Reggie boss is, who he's getting his shit from. That's what she needs to worry about. She's still a low-level ass detective. Low-level, coming after the food truck guy that just lost his brother, and Brandon living in a hood in this little house, even though Brandon's doing whatever, but obviously he ain't bringing the drugs over, dummy. So anyways, let's move on because I'm about to go in. And so then we get Detective Toussaint. She lets, Detective Cruz know a little bit something that, she had to ride a desk. She was suspended with pay because she ended up shooting a drug dealer. And basically she let her emotions and her feelings get into it because it involved her son. And so Detective Cruz said, "You want to confess? A confession? You want to confess?" And so Detective Toussaint was like, "No, you don't need to take no more confessions because of his, because of his Ronnie confession got thrown out." Nah. So then she ends up closing her mouth. And so we get back to the cop, Detective Cruz, former cop that was basically forced him to lie. But Detective Cruz could have stand his ground, but he probably wouldn't be a detective. And it's peer pressure, and this dude is putting race like we I got the Puerto Ricans behind me, the brown people. That way they can make it look like it's not color against color, it's not a racial, it's brown against brown. Black is people of color. Blase and the third, basically to run that scheme, run that game, knowing that he was wrong, he's incompetent, he don't supposed to be on the street, because the way he shot that boy down is gonna no telling how many more people he probably done shot down, because he got fear, he's scared, he got away with the first time. And so basically he's a no good dirty mother sucker that's on the force, and everybody's covering it up for him. And basically they're trying to paint this young man that got shot and killed as a bad guy, as threatening a cop, as somebody being aggressive, and the detective feared for his life. He feared because he was black. That's why the detective was in fear, because he was black. He was scared of a black man. But yeah, we got no power. Our looks make you scared. Just an excuse. So anyways, moving on, we have none other than Brandon, basically being big brother to Kevin, because Kevin don't really have any males around. Basically it's all feminine energy around him, you know what I'm saying? His sister, his mother, and the mother's wife or whatever. So basically him and Brandon had, they got a bond, and plus they did Ronnie in, they was going toe to toe with Ronnie. So they got a bond and a relationship. When we find out that Kevin does have a crush on Maisha, but she's mean. And Kevin was like, girls are only mean to you because they want to see if you're going to stick around when they mean to you. That means you're a good man. I was like, everybody, you can't be mean to everybody think they're going to stick around. But anyways, they're children. So in that case, but adults, no, you don't be mean to a motherfucker. Don't be mean to me, baby. Be nice and sweet to me. So we have that situation. They having a conversation, and basically, Kevin's been coming around every week getting his hair cut. Basically, he wants to look good for Maisha. And also, he just needs that friendship and someone that's an adult, someone he can talk to too as well. It's just so messed up. Brandon's gonna get caught up in this drug situation. So then we get none other than Jerrika. She meets up with, one of the renters that wanted to rent, at Mrs. Brown condo, but she has like 3 jobs. She takes the bus from here to there 3 o'clock in the morning to make sure she walks like 2 miles to work. Then she makes sure she gets on time to pick up her kids from the daycare, because if she don't, she get charged $25. So she's back and forth on the bus across town, living in a bad neighborhood, but she's making enough money where she can afford the rent and this Mrs. Brown, condos or whatever, but she doesn't get it because Mrs. Brown is not going to lower the rent, or it's not going to say that she doesn't qualify because she doesn't earn she doesn't earn like $10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And Jerrika wanted to tell her in person, and Jerrika was like, listen, I'm so proud of you, do so hard, and I'm so sorry we can't get to the apartment, but I do have a friend at House 8 or whatever that I went to college with, and they're going to put you on the list, and you can call them, they can help you. The lady was like, you dragged me out here for this shit? You could have told me on the phone. You trying to embarrass me, trying to put me down? You did, I took a day off of work for this? So the lady just got up and left. She was like, I ain't never been in no nice restaurant like this. I would have Jerrika buy me dinner, baby, but the lady was just too hurt. She thought that she really was going to get to the apartment, probably bragged about it and told everybody, probably thought it was a blessing, probably was praising God and Jesus before she came there, and then she found out that the door is getting closed in her face. So Jerrika got to learn that telling people bad news is better probably on the phone. But Jerrika was trying to be stand up and wanted to commend this woman for her trials and tribulation and her perseverance. But, it just, you telling somebody no. You know what I'm saying? At least pick her up or whatever, so, or have another apartment ready for her. This is what the lady would want. But Jerrika tried to do the best way that she know how to deal with this type of situation. She thought meeting face to face is the right way to do things, and it is, but it's just not in this case, because this woman you just crushed this woman's hopes and dreams to get out the hood. So, and you can look at Jerrika and say that you can tell she comes from a very privileged lifestyle, because, there was some wealth passed down to her. So we got Brandon. He ends up getting the $50,000. He ends up getting a truck. And then basically one of, Perry's boys, Otis boys, dropped the truck off and everything. Detective Toussaint, she's out there in the cut. She's watching, she's looking, and she's paying attention. And now she thinks that Brandon is a part of the passing drugs out here with the gang, with what's his name, with Reggie's gang or whatever. So basically she brings information back to Detective Cruz, and Detective Cruz is like, nah, man, it ain't going down like this. And Detective Cruz wants to give Brandon a heads up, and he does call him. And so then Brandon wanted to tell Jerrika about, the new truck, the $50,000 or whatever, but he gets to the house. Jerrika, she's crying and everything, and she basically hates her job. He tells her to quit, but at this time, he still didn't know Perry was just this bad guy or whatever, or this guy was in drugs or just bad, period. And so he tells her, you can quit. I got you. You've been taking care of us. And she goes, no, I can't do that. But then she ends up quitting, and now Brandon is stuck between a hard rock. he's stuck between 2 hard rocks right now, baby, because now he made this promise to Jerrika, and now he knows who he's doing business with. He might go down. And then we got Detective Toussaint basically accusing Brandon of being a drug dealer, part of, Reggie's gang, and basically running the streets with him, selling drugs off the truck. He done got a new truck, he got new employees, Blazing the third, and she was like, he's down with it. And Detective Cruz doesn't believe Brandon's down with it, because he knows Brandon. He met with Brandon. He talked with Brandon. They have a relationship. So he don't believe it. But Detective Toussaint, she can't see anybody that's from the hood good because of what happened to her son. So she's judging everybody based on what happened to her son. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is with that situation. You got all these crazy people patrolling the streets and shit, from detectives to police officers. It's just some bullshit. And so finally we get Emmett. He meets up with, he finds out who the hell Keisha is dating, and he finds out that he's the coach. And then the dude call, Emmett a little short. He said, "You a short little thing. Once you try out for the team trials is coming up." I was like, damn. So Brandon knows now that Keisha's messing with her coach, and he's gonna use that information. OMG, Keisha, you got it coming. And so we get Brandon. He meets up with Perry, basically Otis, to find out what's going on, and everything that Otis has, like all his awards and all his accolades and trophies on the wall, is the type of person that Detective Toussaint was describing, someone that was groomed, someone to fit in, that's actually doing criminal activity. But yes, she thinks it's Brandon. It's not Brandon, you dumb. It's Perry. Like, come on. You've seen, what's his name, Reggie's little brother, Jake, go to the restaurant. You don't find out who owns the restaurant, who's involved. It's like she always get the picture of the wrong people. She's on a whatever. So anyways, we get Brandon. He meets up with his stepfather, invites him out to dinner or whatever, and they have a conversation. He tells his stepfather what's going on, and possibly he's going to propose to Jerrika. He says about time, and Blase the third, thank God her eyes are closed. And then Brandon tells his stepfather, "Hey, listen, I got some money and I got this Blase the third from Perry." And then the stepfather was like, "Perry, that dude's a hustler. Like, he beat up kids. He was cold blooded when he was a kid. He would beat you down and then continue his business. And we already see he would tear you up. Look how he did. He ain't no joke." So Ronnie got the car started. He got to work, and he seen that his grandmother picture of her dancing. She looked beautiful. Ethel had it going on. Let me tell you. Then Ethel and Ronnie started dancing in the street. And, Jada's there too as well. Jada has just adopted Ethel and Ronnie. And basically, she's going to be adopting more of Ronnie's penis in a few. So we have that situation. And then we have Detective Cruz. He actually lies and defends his partner because of peer pressure. And because he didn't want to stand alone. He didn't want to lose his job. So basically, the image of a young black male is being tarnished. And his family's being tarnished. There's no investigation because everybody that's doing that police, conference or whatever, to the media, they're all lying. They're all full of shit. And the only person that wanted to tell the truth was Detective Cruz, but at the end of the day, he chose brown and blue. So then we get onto, Detective Toussaint. She goes to see her son. Her son is locked up. He's scared. He wants the money on the books. So, she's no better than the people that she's trying to arrest and call thugs and criminals, and basically accusing Detective Cruz of having a bleeding heart for black people. Seems like she's on the street and she don't really like black people. She don't even like herself because she's a detective working for the police, and her son couldn't even stay clean. He couldn't even stay out of trouble. She couldn't even keep him safe. How the fuck she gonna keep the streets safe? So anyways, he's locked up, and I guess whoever the drug dealer is was coming after her son. Maybe her son owed him money. Maybe the drug dealer wanted her son to sell. I don't know how the situation went down. But anyway, she ended up taking a dude's life because it was something personal. She said it was personal. It was personal. So she used her badge to kill. She's no better than the police. She's no better than the community where she policed, and basically she should be behind bars because she got away with murder, and she got 30 days, and she got suspended for 30 days with pay. So anyways, miss me with that bullshit. It don't matter what color you are. If you are racist, you can be racist, especially if you can shoot and you can kill people and you can put them behind bars and take their freedom. You're a true racist when you can do that. When you can lock somebody up for no reason, when you can take somebody's life for no reason, and you take their life and you lock them up because you assume that they're black. You assume that they're no good because of their color of their skin. So it is what it is. So then Jerrika, she finally tells, Brandon that she left her job, she quit, and Brandon stuck between a hard place because he wanted to try to give the money back to, Perry. He wanted to try to move on from the situation because he knew he was in a bad situation with Perry, and it might can go dangerously. But now Jerrika has quit her job, and he kept saying, "I got you, depend on me." So now it seems like he's going to continue this relationship with Perry, and we know that Perry is setting them up to go down. So basically, they're probably going to find drugs on the truck, guns on the truck, that Detective Toussaint is going to be watching because she believes that, they're running drugs or money through the trucks, and she believes Brandon's the bad guy. She don't want to hear nothing good about him, but she want people to believe good about her son, but her son's behind bars. You know what I'm saying? For some shit that we don't know about, but we'll find out. Peace and out. One love to all my peeps and my peoples.